DRA Global is a leading international engineering project delivery and operations management group with an impressive track record spanning more than 3 decades. DRA Global's team of experts drive innovation through world-class consulting services and support clients across multiple sectors to achieve their goals in minerals and metals processing, mining, infrastructure, energy, water, industrial, operations, maintenance and shutdown services.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Andrew Dawson. I am the business line manager for underground load and haul at Sandvik Australia. It's fantastic to be here today and my pleasure to introduce you all to Vanessa Torres, Chief Technical Officer for South32. Vanessa has over 26 years of experience across 3 continents in operations, strategy, projects, business development and acquisitions within the resource industry. She is the recipient of several awards, including 100 Women of Influence, Exceptional Women in Resources in 2017, Global Inspiration Women in Mining in 2013 and 2015, the 2009 WA Telstra Business Women Awards, and if all that wasn't enough, the CEO do Futuro 2005 award. Welcome, Vanessa.
Thank you, Andrew.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So first question, Vanessa. State of Play's recent electrification report found that 61% of the next generation of mines will be completely electric. What is South32 doing to electrify its mining operations?
Thank you. First, it starts with our strategy. So we have a group-wide decarbonization strategy, and we have set a target to reduce our combined Scope 1 and 2 emissions by 50% until 2013. We just announced that a couple of weeks ago. And that enables us to take a portfolio view of our assets and really understand where we should drive that effort. And electrification is in the core of that strategy. And our innovation strategy towards electrification looks both to piloting new technologies at current operations with a view that we can expand the application into the new projects, but also informing the design of the new projects, considering emerging technologies that are still under development that can be adopted, between now and when we implement, and even, later than that. Some good examples are the first group in terms of electrification initiatives already in place in South32 include our renewable energy supply at Kennington Mine and also electric bus deployment in Colombia. When you look both for current operations and into the future, one of the key initiatives is being co-founders of the Electric Mine Consortium. So we are participating with other like-minded mining companies, contractors, and suppliers. And we aim to accelerate our learning by jointly collaborating so we can identify, design, and then overcome the technology, the financial, the cultural challenges that mine electrification presents to us. And then by splitting the projects or the initiatives amongst the companies, amongst the members to lead, we can all each have a focused work as well as leverage the work of other partners. So everyone then can accelerate our own journey towards our electric mine vision. And then our direct role in that consortium is leading what you call the Light Vehicle Challenge. So this challenge helps to address the needs of interoperable and commercially available battery technology for light vehicles and utility equipment that are widely needed in mining operation. They're usually the missing links. People usually focus on the big equipment, the big toys. But if you actually don't electrify everything that moves inside a mine, we won't have an electric mine.
Yeah, agreed.
So we are currently investigating, in particular, charging and electrical infrastructure, and then how to optimize the power or the demand management for power of an electric mine. Some other challenges that our partners are leading across the consortium then focus on energy storage, mine design, the charging and electrical infrastructure as well, in a broader scale, heavy vehicle trials, and also regulatory engagement. So all of this eventually has an application in our portfolio, both for current mines like Kennington or new projects like the Mosa project in Arizona we are developing.
Fantastic. That was a quite a broad answer there, Vanessa. That was, you certainly touched on a lot of bases there. That was great. So what do you see as the key benefits of designing an electrified mine?
Okay. So first, health and safety. So electrified mines will improve the quality of the working environment by eliminating diesel particulates, which is one of the key health hazards that we have in underground mines in particular, reducing heat, noise, and vibration. So ultimately, we'll have a safer place to work. The other thing that we're looking in terms of the financial benefits is that because of the reduced complexity of the design of electrically powered engines, that to translate in reduced equipment maintenance cost that helps then pay for the investment. There is a significant opportunity as well as the technology evolves to reduce the ventilation and refrigeration requirements for underground mines. Again, reducing not only the carbon footprint, but also the energy consumption and cost. The other very important aspect is that an electric fleet will also provide a foundation for automation to have a greater interoperability and also more availability of data. So, it will boost data collection, and then we can use that data to further optimize our operations. But very importantly, I think going back to our strategy, a fully electric mine can have a carbon neutral footprint in terms of scope 1 or 2 emissions, and the ultimate benefits in that arena can be realized when an electrified mine is powered by a renewable source of energy. So the first thing is to eliminate, let's say, carbon footprint in the mine itself, bring it to the infrastructure, and then build then from the infrastructure how we actually move to transition fully towards renewable energy. And then, so when you look, so these are, I'll say, these are the benefits to the company, but I think when you look at the broader benefits, there are also significant benefits to people and the community. So it will align our industry with societal values and the macro trends in terms of everyone working towards reducing climate change impacts. Integration with local infrastructure and workforce attraction. Because then you're moving mining to the high-tech end. You have also built community trust and brand recognition, and also opportunities for local development that are more focused on, capability and services rather than only, I would say, direct labor.
Yeah, fantastic. Okay. What challenges do you see for the industry in the uptake of electrification?
I think the first challenge is we all need to prove the technologies we are developing can be deployed at scale and at the scale we need in our business. And to do that, we also need to confirm the business case in regards to what are the benefits that it brings, because then we can then support large capital decisions in new projects, because I think that's one aspect. You're trading a lot of operating costs for capital costs. So we really need to understand if those operating costs savings are real.
Absolutely.
I think another challenge is the availability of the commercial products at the time the mine industry ready to take it. So we already seeing probably our demand, our aspiration starting to outstrip supply in terms of batteries and vehicles. We all want everything electric now, and I think you probably can relate to that from your end of the business as well. So we all want everything, and we all want everything now from both sides. I think also when you look at electric mines, there will be a much bigger need to integrate the electric mine suppliers and contractors to existing mine systems, but also between operating models, because the need of interoperability or agnostic solutions are probably going to be much broader. Because you won't have, let's say, one supplier be able to provide everything you need in an electric mine. So we actually need to make sure that the supplier industry can create those avenues for collaboration where they can protect their margin, protect their IP, and really generate that win-win for the broader industry. Which includes then not only the miners, but the contractors and the suppliers. And I think the other thing that can impact is that the life cycle of sometimes mobile and fixed infrastructure. So what we do with mines where there's already been a big capital investment made, and then sometimes it's more difficult. The great opportunity then is actually for new mines, you can really accelerate that uptake.
Yeah, excellent. Once again, Vanessa, I think you've touched on a huge amount of points there, which is fantastic. Given your response just then, do you have any suggestions on how to overcome some of these roadblocks? I know that they do seem to be quite deep-seated, and the road is long.
Yeah.
But do you have any suggestions on how we could overcome these roadblocks?
Well, I think that the biggest one for me is that's one thing we are very active about and we advocate about is really to collaborate and engage. And because we need to accelerate our learning through trials and innovation and really solve the challenges, that we have ahead, because they are not small. But we all know, I think the last year dealing with COVID, we all know we can, if we do things together in a consistent way, we can solve bigger challenges than we even think would be possible to solve. And I think the other thing that we need to do is to collaborate collectively, in addition to the collaboration between the sector and across sectors, collectively create the demand for the equipment and technologies we need. So we really need to make that, that commitment to move to an electrified mine. And I think what will enable that is that ultimately we need to deploy a business model that aligns the corporate decarbonization targets which the investors are claiming for, and we all need to commit and we all need to deliver, with the expectations society have from mining, and then make sure that we can incentivize the innovation and then balance risk and rewards. We're all going to need to take some risks, but we all know that, perhaps the biggest risk is not taking any risk on the decarbonization. So I think we do have that drive, but I think for me, collaboration is the key. There won't be, just the one, the one supplier or the one mining company that becomes fully electrified or becoming fully sustainable, and everything else, everyone else left behind. That won't solve what we need to solve. And no one company or no one equipment supplier, as big as they can be, can actually solve the challenge. So I think it's actually a positive thing to really bring collaboration to a different level, to a level where we all, instead of competing, within our industry, we actually increasing the potential of that industry to deliver out the materials that we do need to build, I'll say, a greener world.
Yeah, fantastic. That's a great answer. Vanessa, just to change tact a little bit now, what is Met's role in supporting mining companies to achieve their electrification goals?
I think it's a two-way street. So we, the mining companies, need to offer more time to engage with the Mets companies and the Mets sector and researchers, and share the opportunities and the problems that we need to solve in the business. And then we also need to provide the information and data that the Met sector can use to development of those solutions. So we can't just stand aside and say, "Oh, come with it, come with the equipment when you have it for me." And I think from the Mets companies, it really help us to understand the value proposition and share their own strategy of growth, and then how they'll be able to grow and provide the solutions and services over the long term. Because once you make a commitment with the technology, we're long life mine, we're on a commitment for 10, 20, 40 years that we will be able to rely on those technologies. And I think short is really that support new business models to work together, to partner, and find also non-binary ways to progress from ideas to solutions. So I think pretty much in line with, joining forces and proposing, what's the system solution rather than the individual solution for specific needs.
Yeah, absolutely. And it kind of ties back into your previous answer as well about collaboration and kind of bringing everything in together. That was excellent. One more question to go, Vanessa. I think it's fair to say that you've probably answered this over the last couple of questions I've asked you, but for the sake of completeness, we'll wrap it up with this question. Aside from electrification, what other trends are you currently seeing in the industry?
So beyond digitalization, the automation and electrification we talked about, I think we are in a journey of developing new ways of working, that was accelerated with COVID, management system capabilities, and it's all about successfully deploying and sustaining a high-tech mining industry. So that's our challenge, is to actually how we turn the mining industry into a high-tech mining industry. We have lots of aspects of high-tech in our industry, but we still don't have that complete system solution and our brand is still not fully aligned with high-tech. I think the remote operating centers are becoming now smart decision-making platforms. So the integration of people, data, and technology are coming to a next level, contributing to a culture of collaboration and empowerment. And it's all about getting the empowerment, between people and between, companies in the sector. But I think above all, the one key trend we all need to tackle, we all need to solve, and everything else I talked is just a means to it, is the focus on decarbonization, the sustainability. Because we need to ensure that we as an industry are meeting the expectations of broader society and are contributing to a better environment, a better world for the future generations. So talking about costs and benefits, to the environment, I think, we all need to make sure that our work ultimately puts the world into a better environment and a better position in climate change overall, by supplying the materials, but producing those materials with, renewable energy.
Excellent. Great. That I think that about wraps up our session, Vanessa. Thank you very much. Certainly in my mind, there's absolutely no doubt why you are the Chief Technical Officer of South32. That was really fantastic. And we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. But also another thing is that we find very easy also to work with Sandvik because we see that like-mindedness in terms of solving the challenge. So it's been a pleasure to actually be in the consortium and having interaction with suppliers like Sandvik. I think you guys are really in the forefront of the industry as well. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you.
DRA Global is a leading international engineering project delivery and operations management group with an impressive track record spanning more than 3 decades. DRA Global's team of experts drive innovation through world-class consulting services and support clients across multiple sectors to achieve their goals in minerals and metals processing, mining, infrastructure, energy, water, industrial, operations, maintenance and shutdown services.
I love coming to IMARC. The buzz here is great. There's so many new and interesting people to see, lots of great opportunity to network. And I feel the energy and the enthusiasm and the passion.
The conference itself is a real draw card because of the international nature. It draws people from all over the world, and every year we've seen representatives from new countries.
The range of technologies that are now being displayed here at IMARC, I think that's a really important role that IMARC is playing, is introducing or connecting industry with technology.
The value of IMARC is that we can get an update of a lot of the companies that we have invested in or are looking to invest in, and we can get an update on the new technology that's happening in the mining industry.
Is organized with technology aspect, global opportunities, investor aspect. There's a large place for social license to operate, so that shows that IMARC is actually up to speed in the mining sector. You do have, a presence of delegates and experts from all over the world. I find it amazing. That's the place to be.
I keep coming back to IMARC because I think it's got a fabulous range of topics that are being discussed. The presentations are really interesting.
I mean, learning about what the local governments are doing here, that's really fantastic. What Australia is doing, learning about the Aussie culture is fantastic, eating the food, meeting the people. There's people from all over the world here. I've met hundreds of people and I've only been here for a day and a half.
Networking in the mining industry is important, both in the mining but also in the technology space and the met sector that's here.
Just the effort that everybody has gone to bring something interesting to the industry and have a really interesting story to tell.
I've been to a lot of conferences and this is probably the best I've seen. It's definitely the biggest, for sure.
I was here last year at IMARC. I actually participated in the investment battlefield and won my division, so that gave me a lot of exposure. It's a really large conference, there's lots of investors here. Basically, it'll be on my list every year.
DRA Global is a leading international engineering project delivery and operations management group with an impressive track record spanning more than 3 decades. DRA Global's team of experts drive innovation through world-class consulting services and support clients across multiple sectors to achieve their goals in minerals and metals processing, mining, infrastructure, energy, water, industrial, operations, maintenance and shutdown services.
I love coming to IMARC. The buzz here is great. There's so many new and interesting people to see, lots of great opportunity to network. And I feel the energy and the enthusiasm and the passion.
The conference itself is a real draw card because of the international nature. It draws people from all over the world, and every year we've seen representatives from new countries.
The range of technologies that are now being displayed here at IMARC, I think that's a really important role that IMARC is playing, is introducing or connecting industry with technology.
The value of IMARC is that we can get an update of a lot of the companies that we have invested in or are looking to invest in, and we can get an update on the new technology that's happening in the mining industry.
Is organized with technology aspect, global opportunities, investor aspect. There's a large place for social license to operate, so that shows that IMARC is actually up to speed in the mining sector. You do have, presence of delegates and experts from all over the world. I find it amazing. That's the place to be.
I keep coming back to IMARC because I think it's got a fabulous range of topics that are being discussed. The presentations are really interesting.
Learning about what the local governments are doing here, that's really fantastic. What Australia is doing, learning about the Aussie culture is fantastic, eating the food, meeting the people. There's people from all over the world here. I've met hundreds of people and I've only been here for a day and a half.
Networking in the mining industry is important, both in the mining but also in the technology space and the Metis sector that's here.
Just the effort that everybody has gone to bring something interesting to the industry and have a really interesting story to tell.
I've been to a lot of conferences and this is probably the best I've seen. It's definitely the biggest, for sure.
I was here last year at IMARC. I actually participated in the investment battlefield and won my division, so that gave me a lot of exposure. It's a really large conference, there's lots of investors here. Basically, it'll be on my list every year.
DRA Global is a leading international engineering, project delivery and operations management group with an impressive track record spanning more than 3 decades. DRA Global's team of experts drive innovation through world-class consulting services and support clients across multiple sectors to achieve their goals in minerals and metals processing, mining, infrastructure, energy, water, industrial, operations, maintenance and shutdown services.